Darragh. I'm the founder of EPAA, the Executive and Personal Assistants Association, and today we're taking another revisit and relook at our fantastic campaign, Not Just a Girl's Job. It's been 18 months roughly since we first kind of launched the campaign in a big way with the survey and our first film, and so now's an opportunity to take a look back over those 18 months with our male executive and personal assistants who are joining me today, and to see what change has been made and what work is still to be done. So looking back over the last 18 months since we launched the survey and the first film, and our profession and what's happened, do you feel anything has changed since the campaign was launched, good, bad or indifferent? Declan, if we can start with you.
I think it's got better. I think just having merely the conversation about this is worlds apart from where we were. Lots more people are talking about this campaign, but also about the job as a whole. And as we start talking about it as a profession, we start updating the image in the public, and that naturally means that we will have more males coming into the roles and we'll have more diversity in the role. I think something else that will play a good part in the next year or so is gender pay gap reporting. We've obviously had that at the beginning of this year, and that has highlighted to many companies the lack of diversity in their roles, from junior all the way up to senior roles. Build networks wherever you go. I'm very proud to be sitting on the steering committee of the LGBT admin and assistant networks this year, and we've had a great year and we hope to have another successful year next year. As well as that, I would say we should learn from our executives. We work for the top executives in the city and we should be learning from them. Ask questions and ask to be challenged.
There was a role posted by a recruiter on a job board, and it all looked kind of great until we got to the part that it requires a Mary Poppins style individual, practically perfect in every way. And that did cause a bit of uproar in the profession, as we all know, and I did challenge the recruiter and the job board on Twitter about this, and the job board did raise an investigation, although we're not aware of what happened with that. As a female assistant, I do find this quite offensive, given my skill set, that somebody would refer to an executive assistant as a Mary Poppins, practically perfect individual. I already feel that PAs, both genders, are put under a lot of pressure to be perfect as it is. I don't think that kind of thing helps, and I don't find this attractive in a serious, job advertisement. It would be great to kind of hear how you feel about that, because obviously I've given the female perspective, but how do you feel about that, Mark? Any thoughts?
I think there's a lot of issues that we have with recruiters in the terminology. This specific ad, to me initially, just sort of felt, well, is it really a professional role? Because you've given it quite a jokey character and trying to sort of fluff out that, is this going to be a role that I'm going to have to be doing things from noon until night and going out in the usual. I think there's lots of the typical stereotypes of what a PA or an EA does, that you're going out for coffee, you're going to get the dry cleaning, and all these things died like 100 years ago. Yet I think the recruiters are stuck in that sort of old way of writing roles, whether it's just to try and they think that it's going to make the role sound sexy, but actually it's just doing the complete opposite. So.
I've been a PA for 15 years. I'm very proud to be part of the profession and would encourage anyone wishing to join to be a business support professional that they should seriously consider the role.
Since the campaign launched 18 months ago, we have had some positivity, in as much as we've seen more press and features on male executive and personal assistants. However, not all of it's been positive, some even derogatory. How do you feel about press? And I'll come to you first, Joe. How do you feel about press? When we're lucky enough to get it, they do sometimes go after the whole secretarial thing and these stereotypes from the 1980s.
Yeah, I thought that the Daily Mail article that you sent round to everyone, I thought that was interesting, because a lot of what they talked about in there was telling the stories of men and how they became EAs, and giving men the chance to talk about their experiences, but then there were just elements of it, such as the headline. I remember a certain line about one guy who did a law degree, but then wanted to find a job that would allow him to spend more time ballroom dancing. And maybe it's just because it was in the mail, but I got a really sneering, snarky sense from it. But again, like when we were talking about the Mary Poppins advert, I think it's subtle and insidious, and that's when it's most damaging, I think. I think there are examples of good practice in reporting on this. But I was also thinking about depictions in the media more generally as well, not just in press. And I was thinking about characters in TV shows and films. If there's ever, or historically, or every example I can think of, where there's been a male in a secretarial or business support role, has always been depicted the same way, which is gay, campy, and neurotic. And so, as a gay man who is an EA, I'm doubly offended by that.
Yeah.
It's so I think there is an issue and a lot more to do.
Yeah.
I'm proud to be a business support professional. I love my job. It challenges me every single day and gives me fantastic opportunities for development. I'd encourage anyone, be they male or female, to seriously consider a career as an EA or a PA.
Okay, so looking at the profession, I've been around for a long time in the industry. I know that doesn't seem possible, but I have. And my predecessor, the EPAA, regularly put out figures about the number of our population, in the United Kingdom. And when we worked with the Financial Times recently, they had a look at what had been filled in with the last census of the country and where everybody was working and what they were doing. And what the FT article said is actually, since the early millennium, we've lost 32% of our population. We're due to complete this survey again in a couple of years' time, I understand. What's it going to look like again? Craig, thoughts?
If we're going to talk about figures, I think we should start working and sort of sort out this mess of job titles. And I think once we've sorted that out, it'll be interesting to see how many men are in the position. And I think for the future, I think we need the support and the recognition from the government to help us to achieve this.
I'm thankful that we have EPAA giving our community the support we need today, but this isn't enough. I think we need the community, the public, and the government to step in to give us more support.
So Sean, we're in this period of redefining the role at the moment, and the confidence piece, well, we've talked about it a lot between the EPAA board. How do you feel about it and the lack of confidence?
So I would say I'm a bit of a dog with a bone with this. I've been in the profession now for 14 odd years, and how are we ever going to get sort of credit about the role in the profession as a whole if we ourselves are not pushing it as a positive role? If we're talking to people and we're sort of shying away, or we're just a PA, just an EA, it gives the role in the profession no credibility whatsoever. So not attacking us as a group. We need to be much better at standing strong, as I'll be honest, I always have done at networking events and speeches and conferences and things. I'm very proud of the job I do. It's a job choice, and that's what we need to be moving towards. And unfortunately, again, I keep saying it, but we've got a lot of work to do as individuals to stand up proud and be very proud of the jobs we do. Since the launch of the Not Just a Girl's Job campaign back in 2017, EPAA has made great step forward in encouraging more men into the profession. Whilst there's a great deal of work still ahead of us, we do remain fully committed to this campaign, and I would encourage any chaps out there hesitant in any way of entering this profession to ask as many questions as you can. Don't be shy. The role is suitable for everybody.
Absolutely, and Josh, if we get greater confidence in what we do and what we deliver, we can make the changes, right?
That's correct. I think as well, confidence comes with being given the chance to show and shine and show what you can do. I think for me personally, I found that I got my confidence by actually going into a role where I was the first male administrator at the time, and actually going in there actually there was a few raised eyebrows, but I went in there and I proved a point because I could actually do a job that a female could do, did it to the right standard, and actually as time went on, I was the go-to person in that. I was the one that actually everyone went to, oh, Josh knows how to do that, or actually I'd have someone come up to me and say, Josh, how do you do that? And at the time I was thinking, I'll show you, because actually I can then show my experience, pass it on to someone else. But I think as well as being given the chance just to develop as well in companies. I think as well, unless you go and grab it, you don't always get it. And like I said, for now actually, at the moment, the job I'm in at the moment, I really enjoy it because actually I'm seeing where I want to go, grabbing the opportunities by the horn, and literally just looking out for different opportunities, because I know there's a thing where when you apply for a job, you have someone that's more senior to you and you're meant to stick in your lane. I kind of am a bit rebellious on it. I don't do that. I literally see where I can go, think if I want to learn more, I've got to go out there, observe. You should go in there and say, oh, can I shadow you doing that, please? And then, you know, go from there and actually show that I'm willing and determined. I think as long as you've got that, then, you know, the world's your oyster. I'd encourage any male to come and join the business support system. It's a great opportunity for you to grow and to build your skills. And I know for a fact that when I did it, I started from a young age, and actually it was the best thing I ever did.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this film today, which is obviously about our Not Just a Girls Job campaign. The girls part of this campaign is purely British and very tongue-in-cheek, but what we are seeking to do with this whole campaign is to simply make it more gender neutral. Thank you for watching.